Hey guys, I have a mini gun show, Tom's Gun Show Part 3. Got a few guns that I want to show you, but first I've got some splaining to do, so you might want to stay tuned. Okay, I better do some splaining first because we thought you guys wouldn't notice it, but the last video I released was actually a video from over a year ago. We actually have 7 or 8 videos that YouTube took down because it said it was a violation of their rules. Now, they had been out there, we had 7 or 8 of them been out there for over a year. But for some reason, they felt like we violated the rules, so we took them down. We had to take them down, and then we scrubbed them up a little bit, cleaned them up. The main thing is we're not supposed to refer people to our website to buy guns. That's against the rules, and we don't want to break their rules. These are educational videos only. We're just doing this for your education. If you can't get a gun show, you can come here and learn about the guns and gun collecting. That's what we're all about. So we took some videos down. We scrubbed them all up. We released one yesterday and people got confused. Like I said, I didn't think you'd even notice. And then we have a new one coming out probably in a few days. We're going to release them one at a time, especially when I'm away on vacation, going to Italy, looking at some battlefields there. And while I'm away, we can re-release some of the scrub videos. The next one is going to be about beautiful babies. This is my beautiful baby, my first grandson. Very proud of him, one and only grandson. Looking forward to more. But when we do the video, we're going to talk about 25 caliber babies, so you want to stay tuned for that next. Let's talk about this gun show. I have a few really interesting guns, some high-end guns that I want to show you. Okay, this gun show, I don't have a lot to show you, but I did want to do a video right away to explain the re-releases because some people were getting a little worried about I was going crazy or something. First and foremost is a PPK. You can see the Party Leader Eagle on this. We do get these from time to time. It has a correct aluminum stud. The earlier ones were brass. These are from 1938, 39, so aluminum stud is correct. It's squared off here, and that's unique. These are ACA holsters, by the way. You can see the DRGM and the ACA logo right inside there. And these are squared off so that when you fasten it up, it doesn't cover up the eagle. Now, in our society, everybody likes to cover up the eagle, but at the time they made these for the party leaders, they tried not to cover up the party eagle. This has the name of the GI. Looks like P. Curtis, although that could be A. Curtis. Not sure, but it's Curtis, and that's his GI number. It wouldn't be too hard to track him down. I'm sure one of our viewers will be able to do that. I didn't try to track him down. This has some stamps that could be extraneous. I don't know if they were added later. I'm not sure the meaning of these stamps. They could be significant, but they could have just been stamped on there later. Not quite sure. And then the gun that goes with it. This is the Party Leader PPK. These were first introduced in 1938. Now, there's sometimes I've done plenty of videos on party leaders. You can check that out, or who knows, maybe I'll re-release one. But the party leader, they say the correct range is, this is 1938. This starts with 183, 183,000, which is the proper range. Crown end proof, because 38, the war hadn't started. 1940, they go to eagle end. I just wanted to show you both sides of the grip. I always say there's no such thing as a perfect grip. This grip looks really good in here. And on this side, I don't see any cracks, but there is a little bit of alteration. Looks like there might have been a repair there. A little bit of an alteration here, so probably a repair. No crack in the back, which is very common right here in the back because of the expansion contraction. Pulls it apart, back together, pulls it apart, back together. There tends to be a crack right in the back strap. None there. This is a correct magazine, Walther banner only, no lip on it. So it's an early magazine. Beautiful high polish finish, a little bit of fire blue here. This gun is being presented just for educational purposes in terms of what to look for. But if you're buying a party leader, obviously they're heavily faked, and therefore feel free to run it by us or buy from somebody you know and trust. And these are available on our site from time to time, but they are getting harder to find in all original condition. Okay, moving right along, this one is very special. Artillery Luger. You can see it has the longer barrel. Absolutely beautiful condition, and the serial number is number 66. Now, that makes this special for a lot of reasons. By the way, 66 under here, you can see minor halos. I've talked about that before. The finish under the barrel heats up and it creates a halo effect. If the gun has been refinished, that halo effect goes away. So that's one of the things that I look for. Again, all over, all the parts are number 66. Except for the magazine. It does not have a matching magazine, but the magazine does have the correct imperial proofs on it. Speaking of imperial proofs, by the way, the crescendo that I'm working toward is this is a 1914 dated DWM. That was the first year they made them. DWM made the Artillery Luger. 1914 was the first year they made them. They only made about 1,600 total. The 1915, 16, 17, 18, there was a lot more made. Total of about 20,000 DWM Lugers made, but only about 1,600 were made in 1914. Now, what's deceptive, if you Google 1914 Artillery Luger, you see a lot of them online, but they're actually not dated 1914. This Artillery Luger is called the Model 1914 because it was the first year they came out with this artillery model. So a Model 1914, in fact, when I go to Gunbroker and they'll say 1914 DWM, I get all excited thinking it's a 1914, but the most common year is 1917, and it turns out it's a 1917. It's still a valuable gun. They sell in the $3,000 range. These sell for a lot more money because of the rarity. So this is the 66th Artillery Luger made, number 66. I did go on one of the forums, actually it was Jan Still's forum, and they have a list of known guns. This one is not known. It just came to us today, as a matter of fact. So a real nice find. One of the things you want to look for is every other year than 1914, it has mixed proofs. So it has the Crown S, the Crown D, the Crown G, but 1914, the date 1914, only will have 3 in a row Crown S's. So the 3 in a row Crown S's, if they're not 3 in a row, then somebody altered the serial number to make it worth a lot more. And in fact, finding a 1914 in this condition is worth 3 or 4 times what a 1917 artillery would go for. So read it and weep. Just take a look at it. Of course, it comes in 9mm. Maybe you'll never have the chance to hold one in your hand, but at least you can come to Tom's Gun Show and see one. This one comes with this holster, which was dyed. You can tell, it's pretty obvious. I don't think it was original to the gun, but they're together now. So we just leave it that way. This is broken off here, but really you're buying the gun. This is the holster that came with it. And then also pretty interesting is the stock, because this is the boot, goes on here. The stock lines up with the holster. And so, of course, they would carry it over their shoulder. Here's a picture of somebody carrying the artillery. They would carry that over their shoulder, but you have the stock, the holster, and then this attaches to the back. If you're new to this, you can see that it attaches right there. And so it makes like a carbine-looking carbine Luger. And I started to say this is interesting as well because this is number 72. I did see that number 75 exists. And of course, number 66 exists. So this is not matching, but pretty close. It also, if you look here, you can see the Crown S proof mark here as well. It's been banged up a little bit, and the leather is, well, you can see this is broken off from here. So maybe they did come together. I disparaged it earlier, but it looks like they came together. This is number 72. This is number 66. a real cool find for that Luger collector out there. I can think of a couple of you who are salivating over it right now. Speaking of salivating, let's talk about some other Lugers here. Oh, by the way, here is the strap. And it's kind of beat up, but matches the condition of the holster. Okay, so next with the Lugers, I have 3 Lugers. First, we have an early. It's an S code. S code means 1936 when it comes to Krieghoffs. No other Luger would use the S code. But the S code with Krieghoff is 1936. Later on in 1936, they just went ahead and put 1936 here. But this is an early one, and you can also see the early feature because the side plate is numbered. That's an early feature. The logo only has Sul, whereas later you can see it says Krieghoff Sul. You can also see the date here, 1944. That makes this a pretty rare gun. Also with the S code, it has a wooden grip. Now, the wooden grip does not look like the DWM. It's a little bit thicker. You probably can't tell by looking at it from where you are, but if you held it with another Luger, you can kind of tell that it is a little bit thicker, wooden grip. This is all correct. Original finish. It does have some pin pricking on it. If you look at the barrel, there are little pin pricking here. There are the 3 proofs that go on the side, just like here. 3 proofs. They're later proofs, but there's 3 proofs on the side there. And this one comes with a matching magazine. So we can see the serial number is 847, and then 47 is 847 here. The barrel's not numbered, and the magazine is also numbered 847. So a 1936 S code with a matching magazine has an upside down Krieghoff proof right here, Luftwaffe proof. This was issued to the Luftwaffe. Could have been used by a pilot or the paratroopers or a desk jockey. We don't know, but it definitely went to the Luftwaffe in 1936. After the wooden grip, then they went to maroon or maybe a brownish red grip, and that was standard. Next, that was the next color. And then in 1940, they started using the black grip. And this one from 1944, it's pretty rare. I want to say they only made about 300 of them. Actually, that's very rare. You see the serial number here. The numbers are a little bit crooked, not lined up properly. Some people will say, oh, the Germans didn't do that. That must have been fake. But no, actually, 1943, 44, and 45, you'll see the numbers being a little bit crooked, and that's just because they could hear the Russians coming as they were quickly trying to put these together and stamp them all. A rare find, a 1944 Krieghoff Luger, all matching. The magazine, the grips are similar to the Black Widow grip, and the magazine is also similar. It is not numbered at all, but it could, it is probably just a spare mag that was used. There's a little bit of discoloration here, which is not unusual. It's not wear, it's just was poorly applied. That's not unusual for the Krieghoff factory. They'll have different finishes where you'll see a shiny finish here and a duller finish here. This is a different color than this. You may not believe me, but that really is to be expected with the late war Krieghoffs. Now I'm going to close with a what the heck is it? This is where you guys help me out. Tell me what the heck this is. So this is your typical US holster. I just grabbed it. It goes to a 1911. You can tell it's US. First of all, it says Boyd 1942. This hooks onto their belt, obviously, and we've all seen these before. Fairly inexpensive holster, but in mint condition. This came with a bunch of these. There's no US marking, and it's pigskin. If you look inside, you can see the little dimples indicating pigskin. This was attached with like a butterfly. Well, they put the piece of metal in there and open it up like I'll call it a butterfly. Don't know what else to call it. So you can see it was made for the US belt. But pigskin, the US never used pigskin. That was a German add-on. So maybe I said, okay, so somebody after the war, they converted one of these to one of these because this actually fits. It had a Luger in it. If you look here, you can see this bump. This could be a P38 or a Luger. One thing that makes me think it's a Luger is you can see a wear mark here, so watch this. This fits in here, so here you can see the barrel, the bump. If I push the bump, that's right there. There's the bump. And this worn spot here hits this worn spot. In fact, you can see a little bit of leather right there. Okay, so this piece, it's right here. So this held a Luger, and notice it fits perfectly, but with an adaptation to go on a US belt. So help me out. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I don't think it was made in the United States. I would have said, okay, they took one of these and they converted it, but it's pigskin. I can't figure it out. And by the way, it also fits a P38. This could be a P38 outline as well. However, I do think it was a Luger. So what the heck is it? Let me know what you think. And if it's something that interests you, this will be fairly inexpensive. We'd be glad to send it your way. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you'll forgive me for throwing back some old videos, but a lot of you new viewers, some of you have not subscribed yet. You should go ahead and subscribe. It's good to see some of the older material. It's still good information, and some of them might be new to you. So we'll be rolling them out, as I said, over the next month to 2 months, a little at a time. We'll reissue some of the videos that were rejected and now being scrubbed.